how do you how do you come up with your plan for a player, specifically an NBA player? And like, what does that schedule kind of look like?
Right. So yeah, we can just use Cam. I think Cam's a great example of this. Like, it's mostly I really haven't had too much contact with really NBA teams. It's more so like, and Cam is great because Cam has given me 100% trust
Sure.
in me as a trainer and player development guy, to where usually when the off season hits, and obviously I give him a few weeks off after the season, we sit down and me and him, and he'll ask like what the plan is, and I'll usually have like the 2 or 3 things that are like, okay, this is what we need to get better at. So for example, this summer for Kem, it was number one, get healthy. Like before anything else, before we can get on the floor, before he can do anything else, like you need to get healthy. You know, yeah, he ended up getting surgery on his knee. Like that was the most important thing we could do for player development. I don't care how much skill work we do. Like if he's not healthy, like we can't really, we can't do anything. So if he's not healthy, and then second, I told him, and we kind of discussed this, when a lot of it, I come up with an idea and then we'll elaborate on it and he'll give his input on it. And at the end of the day, like he's giving me trust. And that's what most of the guys do. Like they'll give their input. I'll be like, hey, these are the 2-3 things. They'll be like, okay. They'll ask why, like, why are we doing this? So me and Kem, our second thing we're working on is shooting. Like he wants to improve his corner 3. Like that's something he wants to bring. The Raptors play a style where it's 5-out spacing, and especially with guys like Pascal and Scotty Barnes who are heavy to the rim. If Kem's going to be on the floor with those guys, you want to make sure that, he's a threat in the corner or anywhere on the floor, mostly the corner though, to make an open 3, to keep the defense honest. And so I watch the film and we kind of come up with a plan, and that's kind of, I give my input, he gives his input, and we're like, okay, these are the 2-3 things we're going to get better at. And that's what we're going to do. So that's kind of how it mostly goes with 99% of the time. Sometimes players will come to me with like, hey, like Kem's like, oh, I want to work on maybe 1 or 2 moves if a guy closes out from 3, for example. And then I'll be like, okay, we can implement that into the workout. And that's maybe something he wants to do. But for the most part, it's guys give me 100% trust to say, hey, like, what do you think we need to get better at? I trust you. Like you watch the film, like throughout NBA season, I'm watching all 82 games. Like I'm going over every shot, every turnover. And so, they trust me more than anyone else. So
yeah,
that's kind of how it goes as far as like how we formulate, like what are the 2 or 3 things we'll work on. Like I'll watch, and a lot of it is, like I said, them trusting me to understand like what their strengths and weaknesses are in the system and how it can go. And as far as the schedule, like, man, you made a great point. Like these guys are very meticulous. They work. And a lot of times, like they don't want the camera in there. They don't want a video. They don't want a picture. They don't want this to be documented. Like they just want to come in and they want to be able to make mistakes. Like when they're in the gym, they don't want a camera in there filming every miss. Because then if that gets put on the internet somehow, then it's just going to be like like everyone's going to just go crazy. But at the end of the day, that's a part of getting better. You're going to miss shots. You're going to be uncomfortable. Like you're going to step outside of your comfort zone. So a lot of like these guys are in the gym like Kem or any of these other guys. They're mostly a skill workout in the morning. They'll go lift. They'll do some type of conditioning, and then they'll come back at night and we'll do more skill work.